Hello, everybody. My name is Nerdy Lover, and welcome back to episode number 4 of our football betting series here on YouTube. As you can see from the red on our display, things have not gone very well in the Premier League for us this weekend and the weekend just past. We're going to quickly recap the games before we move on to our predictions for the upcoming weekend, the 27th and 28th of August. First up, we had Leicester to beat Southampton. Unfortunately, despite taking the lead through James Maddison's stunning free kick, Southampton and Shea Adams' impact off the bench did turn the game around. Southampton did leave the King Power with 3 points as the 2-1 winners, so he took a £20 hit there. Everton Forest under 2.5 goals. That game finished 1-1, so we did pick up a £16.80 profit. The reason it's only a £5 stake here is because, and I might remember to flash it up now, is we did get a free £15 stake to put on Premier League bets this weekend, so it really would have only cost us a fiver should the Everton and Forest game go over 2.5 goals. So yeah, £5 stake to win £16.80. Fulham and Mitrovic broke our hearts with a 91st minute winner. Fulham won 3-2. Despite Brentford coming back to draw 2-2, we couldn't quite escape. In hindsight, what I should have done is I should have backed Fulham and ensured that we didn't lose any money on that one. So that's a mistake that I've made to move forward with. So we lost another £20 on Brentford. Arsenal swept aside Bournemouth in comfortable fashion on the Saturday before Chelsea. Chelsea lost 3-0 to Leeds. It's the first time this century that Chelsea have suffered a defeat to the hands of Leeds. Chelsea players didn't really turn up. Shades of the Everton game in the first match of the season, so that's something to watch out for with Chelsea going forwards. Are they always going to be up for every game? That's a question mark, and actually it's disqualified them from some of my selections coming up this week. So despite Arsenal's victory, Chelsea did let us down, and we took another £20 hit on our Premier League double over the weekend. So unfortunately for match day 3, we did lose £43.20, going over to the all-time record. We're down £50.06 in just Premier League with only a 42.8% win rate. Things have got to go better this week. Things are looking a little bit brighter in La Liga and Serie A, but they're different episodes. We're focused on the Premier League this weekend. So let's jump into our predictions with Manchester United versus Southampton up first. Our first bet of today's show sees Southampton host Manchester United at St Mary's, and Manchester United have quite a strong all-time record against Southampton. Southampton have only won 10% games against Man United, with Man United winning over half the games. The last time Southampton were able to pick up a win against United was in January of 2016, with a late Charlie Austin goal in a game that Manchester United dominated. More recently, though, Manchester United have been able to avoid defeat against the Saints. They currently have an active 13 games unbeaten streak against Southampton, with a few 3-goal wins and the infamous 9-0 win in February of 2021. Now, let's not lie to ourselves. Manchester United have not started the season very well, but they should be able to take advantage of a struggling Southampton side, which have also not been able to find their feet so far. As suggested earlier on in the episode, I didn't really see the Southampton win coming against Leicester, and to be honest, I didn't see Shea Adams turning up. He scored both the goals to turn the game around, and he's the only sort of question mark I have. I'm going to chalk it up more to his impact off the bench was a bit too much for Leicester to handle, and I'm not really going to factor him into my decision-making here today. Manchester United look pretty good value at around even money, so I will be taking them in a single to win away from home at St Mary's. Moving on to the 3 o'clock kickoffs on Saturday and game number 2. Brighton host Leeds at the Amex, and Brighton have a strong record head-to-head with Leeds all time, winning 50% of the games against the away side. Similarly, their head-to-head record in the Premiership is very good. Brighton have won 2 and drawn 2 of the 4 games between these sides, keeping with their 50% win record. Although when we even look at the draws, Brighton have created more chances and dominated more of the ball. Now, one thing to take into consideration is that Leeds will be flying high after the shocking 3-0 win against Chelsea on Sunday. But unlike Chelsea, I don't think Brighton will underestimate Leeds here. Brighton also secured a 2-0 win against West Ham in professional style, and I think they're going to have enough to get past Leeds here today. If they can just shut down Jack Harrison, Brighton should have the success that we're looking for. So we're going to be taking Brighton in a single for our second bet here today. Our final single takes place on the Sunday, as Wolves welcome Newcastle to Molineux. A game which I feel is destined for unders. In this season so far, 4 of the 6 games which these teams have featured in have seen under 2.5 goals. For Wolves, they lost their opening game 2-1 before drawing 0-0 with Fulham and losing 1-0 to Spurs. Newcastle won their first game 2-0 before drawing 0-0 with Brighton and then losing to Manchester City. Now, both of these teams have strong goalkeepers, with Nick Pope and Jose Sarr being very strong this season, making a number of key saves. Head-to-head record-wise, when we look at that, 6 of the last 7 games between these two sides have finished under 2.5 goals. Reasonable odds here, just better than 4 to 5, so we're going to take a half stake of £10 on under 2.5 goals in the Wolves-Newcastle game. We're going to finish up today's episode with a double, and much like last week's double, the first team to enter will be Arsenal and Fulham. Arsenal have won 6 of the last 7 league encounters with Fulham and have started the much stronger of the two sides with 3 wins from 3. Now, the most recent game between Arsenal and Fulham did finish 1-1, but Arsenal did dominate in every major statistical category, and it took 2 close VAR decisions to award Fulham a draw. With Liverpool dropping off, I do fancy Arsenal as one of the strongest teams to try and fill the gap as Manchester City's title challenger this year. Jesus has been on fire, and there's also been strong contributions from Martin Odegaard and Martinelli. So I think it's pretty reasonable to suggest Arsenal to win will be the first leg of our accumulator. Our second leg for the accumulator is the final game of matchday 4 as Forest hosts Spurs on the Sunday evening. There's no form to go off as the last game between these two sides was either the EFL Cup match in 2014 or before then the 1998-1999 season. However, Spurs have Kane firing now, scoring a late equaliser against Chelsea and the winner against Wolves. And despite 4 points from their first 3 games, Forest have been outperformed in all of their games. They are conceding on average 20 shots on goal. So I think Spurs' front 3 will be licking their lips in this game. Very simple. We're going to add Arsenal and Spurs together in an accumulator, and we're going to put a full stake of £20 on. So, to summarise, we're going to be betting on 4 games this week and hoping for a little bit better than the last couple of weeks have gone. First game is the first game on the match card. It is Southampton versus Manchester United in the lunchtime kickoff. Manchester United are about even money, and we're going to be taking them, risking £20 to win £19.80. Next up at the 3 o'clock kickoffs on the Saturday, Brighton host Leeds. We fancy Brighton at odds of 0.87, £20 to pick up £17.40. On the Sunday afternoon, Wolves host Newcastle. We're looking under 2.5 goals, £10 stake to win £8.30. And spread across the Saturday and Sunday, Arsenal and Spurs in a double, odds of 0.88, £20 stake to win £17.60. So, on matchday 4, we will be risking £70 sterling in order to try and pick up 63.10. If you made it to this point in the video, please drop a like down below. My name's been Nerdy Lover, and as always, have yourself a lovely day.